The Consortium of Health and Military Performance, also known as CHAMP, of the Uniformed Services University of Health and Science, known as USUHS, is conducting a study to understand a possible genetic link between sickle cell trait, known as SCT, and exercise-related events, known as EREs, such as exertional rhabdomyolysis, muscle damage, heat stroke, and or collapse. We are inviting African-American men and women with sickle cell trait and their family members to participate. Participating in the study will require you to complete a health history questionnaire, a form authorizing our study physician to gather health information from you and your healthcare provider, as well as a one-time blood donation. In order to qualify for the study, you must meet the following criteria: be African American, be sickle cell trait positive, be able to read, speak, and understand English, be between the ages of 18 and 80, and currently not being treated for any mental or psychological disorders. Participation is completely voluntary, and your decision will not impact your healthcare. The results for this study are for research purposes only and are not intended to directly benefit any individual for confidentiality reasons. However, the results of this study are intended to help better shape policies and associated health risks affecting the SCT community. Participants may be compensated for their time. To join the study, or if you would like additional information regarding the study, please contact the study team by phone, area code 240-479-9514, or email sctstudy-ggg@usuhs.edu.
The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, morrismedialive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
Good morning. Good morning. It's Friday.
Yes, finally. Oh my gosh.
Welcome to the ladies' room. I'm Brenda.
It's your girl, KB.
Hi. So, our weekend, as I always say, starts today. So, how was your weekend last weekend?
Last weekend was pretty cool. I think we were together last weekend. Were we?
No,
it was the week before.
Yes.
Last weekend I got a lot of rest. Because this week was a very hectic week. Kids went back to school.
Oh, my God.
And, just, get into the routine and all that.
Back to that.
Yes.
Well, my weekend was a little exciting. As I told everyone before, I celebrated my birthday the whole month. I took, the whole month, you guys, and celebrated. And something I just really had a blast doing it. But one of the events I went to the Gardena Jazz Festival, and it was off the chain. I had so much fun. I just totally kicked back and enjoyed the whole jazz. I had excellent seating. I had the breeze, good food, good libation. And it was a lot of beautiful people out. I mean, everybody. I'm actually from Carson, so I had an opportunity to see a lot of my friends and, family that,
Gardena.
Yes, Gardena was going down. Had a chance. One of the guys that I went to school with, Steve in Bradford, is actually a senator now.
Oh.
So he spoke. Okay. Yeah, it was really bomb. And then I went to school with Ron Turner, who is over at KJLH, and he actually was running the program. And it was just good seeing everyone.
So I heard that they have a reunion coming up.
Oh, absolutely. But that's going to be a tough decision for me because the reunion day is the same day as family day for my son who just went away to college. The same exact day. So I have to make that decision today. And I was like, bomb. But I want to go to the reunion. It's going to be at the Hub in Carson.
Oh, okay.
And it's all the different years from Gardena High.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
not one particular year?
No, everybody's kind of mixing it up. And it is definitely going to be off the chain. So then I didn't get to see everybody at the festival, but I would love to be at the reunion so that I really can see everyone. But I have to make a decision today. Either go see Family Day, but I called up to the school where my son is at, and I asked them what the Family Day consists of. So they said it's carnivals and
that's
get to see
they have a lot of games.
You get to see the school.
Everything. Yeah, they have food and stuff like that. I mean, it's fun, but I'm telling you, go to homecoming.
Okay, because I did book homecoming already.
Good.
But I did ask about the the family day, and they told me, well, one of the students who I talked to, who answered the phone, and I asked her 100 questions, she told me that he will not be with me at family day.
He won't. Like, he'll see you and probably come give you a hug or whatever, but for the majority of the day, he will not be with you. So we went 1 year to family day, and I mean, it's like it's for the parents basically to get to know each other and things like that. But as far as you spending time with your kid, you can forget it.
Okay, and that's the purpose.
Yeah.
But I want to see him, so I don't know. My daughter's like, "Mom, you're gonna pick your reunion over your son?" I'm like, "Do not put that guilt trip on me, okay?
Exactly.
Do not. I'm out of high school, and I want to go back and see all the people that are still living, and then we could, chill." Yeah. So that was my little dilemma for today. But my weekend was good. The week was really, really busy.
Yes, this has been a very busy week for me.
It's really, really busy. I'm serious. I'm like, oh my God, but it's about to get busier.
Yeah, it is.
Because we're about to do what? Next level?
Next level. Management.
Next level management. Exactly. And for our show here. So we want anybody that's listening or anyone that is tuning in or on the chat or anything, just really check us out because we're about to take it to the next level.
About to set it off.
Oh my God!
No, so for this week's Woman of the Week, we both agreed and chose Kathleen Johnson.
She turned 100. You know that?
She turned 100 years old.
She did.
And a lot of people were made aware of her by the movie Hidden Figures, which was she was portrayed by Taraji P. Henson in the movie. Yeah. Yes. So she was a mathematician, and like you said, she just celebrated her 100th birthday.
And she calculated that. She was calculating it by hand.
Yes.
By hand.
By hand, in her head.
By hand. And I got to get a pencil. It was 49 plus.
Calculator.
But she totally just was a magnificent woman, and she was breaking barriers.
Yeah, so she was honored by NASA, which was, great.
Oh, my God.
And she attended Virginia State University at the age of 14. You know?
Yeah, her parents, they came to her parents and said, look, this girl is really a genius, and she can do a whole lot more than what she's doing. And they pushed her and put her out there.
And you keep in mind, segregation was, during that time, too. So she really prevailed and, came through.
She did her thing.
I wish I was that smart.
Oh, you are in other areas. We all have our specialty, and we all are very, very smart and intelligent. Sure. It's just different areas, but hers was absolutely math that helped she helped with the astronauts.
She helped send those men to the moon.
And she did. And from I did watch the movie, and I love it. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah,
And from the movie, the white astronaut was like, "No, could you get that girl?"
Yeah, they wanted her.
Get her. And if her calculations meet what we're supposed to have, I trust her.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go with her. I'm going with her. Mm-hmm. So that was awesome. But she absolutely looked beautiful still at 100. Mm-hmm. She looked good. She was beautiful, just inside and out, just to set our history. She's part of our history.
She was and then she went on to teach for 15 years. So just imagine being a student of hers,
Okay. I think I had one of her in junior high school, Miss Rollins.
Oh, really?
But with Miss Rollins, I learned algebra.
Oh, okay.
I had another. I truly got this story. I had a white teacher. I could not get it to save my life. Could not get the math, the algebra.
And she helped you.
Miss Rollins said, "No, get in my class." Got in her class. She was strict. She was mean. She didn't play. But I absolutely learned.
Okay. Did she use that? What kind of method did she use, or do you know?
Well, it was the order operation.
Okay. No, because you know how some teachers use the. It's like you tap. This one lady was trying to teach a kid math, and she was like tap. No, and it really worked. So I was just like, oh.
No, she did the traditional, but she broke it down from. She was a black teacher, and so she said, "Listen, everyone can get this. You all know you can do this because you wouldn't be in this class if you couldn't get it, because that means you have to elevate from one class to another. So we're going to take the math that you already know, the basic math, because all the algebra was is adding, subtraction, division, and multiplication. So it's just different forms of doing it. That's how she would talk to us. But we all did good. We loved her because she totally took care of us, but she was mean as heck. And she didn't play.
They normally are mean. The ones that you really get something from.
And she was like, okay, you left out a negative sign. And she'd circle it, take off a point. But she would give you the full credit for doing it, but she would let you know that negative sign that you left off is extremely important.
It's important.
So it's good when you have good teachers and good people doing good things.
Yep. So what's going on in the news right now?
Oh, my God. Okay, so the little controversy about LeBron James' school. What do you think?
Let's talk about it.
What do you think?
I mean, for the comments or whatever, that's, people trip me out. They want to, shoot you down for you saying something that you feel, that you really feel, or how you really, your I can't even talk, your own opinion. You know what I mean?
Okay, so we're going to talk about we're talking about his show with HBO.
Okay.
The shop.
The barbershop.
Yeah, the shop with HBO. Mm-hmm. Yes, I did read that about him saying that it was difficult for him to adjust to white people.
Well, it probably was. What's wrong with that?
No, I'm sure it was. It definitely was. I don't think it was anything wrong with it. Mm-hmm. I just think people have to have a reason to go in on somebody, for any little thing. That's his story. That's his life. That's what he did. But I do like the little shop, though, because I watched a couple episodes of it. He had some players on there, and they were chatting about everything, but people really got upset and got offended when he said it was difficult. Well, white people got offended when he said it was difficult for him to adjust to that whole surrounding. You come in strictly from the hood and you get doused in a white neighborhood. It is different.
It is different. Yeah.
It is different.
It could be difficult.
It could be
extremely
difficult. It's like going into the white world. I mean, I straight out of high school, I had a job at Hughes Aircraft. Straight out of high school,
and a whole different environment.
Yes, I wasn't familiar with that, but I could adjust and adapt. That check every week was like, oh my God, am I making? I didn't know. I didn't really realize how much money I was making, but everybody else knew it was a lot. But no, I think he is entitled. He's paid his dues. He did everything he can, to help the community, even with his little school. What he did with the school, I want to say this about the school. Is that they did a lottery and he picked the children who were suffering the most, that are 1 and 2 years behind in their reading and their skills.
Okay. First of all, I thought that it was a public school. I thought it was his school. I thought it was a private school. I'm sorry. But it actually is a public school, so he doesn't have any say-so because the state runs a public school. And I'm just saying.
Okay.
I thought the staff would be more diverse. It's not racist or anything like that, but I'm just saying, let's see some diversity. And the public schools is overwhelmed with just, 2 races right now.
Okay, so you have all white teachers?
Have you seen the staff? The staff is white.
Okay, because I saw the principal was black.
Well, the staff is white.
Okay. Now that could go either way, though.
It's not his school. He put his money towards school, which is a great thing. Don't get me wrong. But I'm just saying, let's just see some diversity for a change. I mean, dang. You know what I mean?
Okay. All right. Okay. I could get it.
Okay.
I could get it. But where we were raised, and they felt, well, not where we were raised, I'm sorry, but where we live. But they felt that those are the best schools.
Okay.
They have ranking
high. And I took my kids out of those schools.
I know, but I'm just saying they said that they were the best schools. They really ranked high on the radar.
They do.
And so now had he got all African American teachers?
No, I'm not saying all diverse. Like, there's more than just white. There's more than just black. There's more than just Asians.
No, I understand diversity. I know, but I didn't look at the staff, to be honest with you. I did read about the principal. I read the principal.
Okay.
So I saw her, and then I saw another little staff that was African American.
Really?
One.
Does she work in the kitchen?
Oh my God!
I'm just saying.
I'm gonna do a little digging on that.
Yeah, we gotta dig in that and bring that back.
But just like what you said is that it's not his school.
Yeah,
but he did put his money up.
Yeah, he did,
and he did make it possible.
Thing.
That was the thing, because he was sitting.
That's huge on his part.
Yes, that was huge. He put to make sure that these children have everything they need to become successful in life is very important.
It is.
And white teachers out in Akron, Ohio, might be good.
Okay. Moving on.
Oh my God! Did you see the situation with Jay-Z and Beyonce?
What situation?
Where the fan ran up on stage.
Oh yeah.
What was that about?
I don't know. Some crazy fan.
I know that was crazy, but he did get a citation.
He didn't get mollywopped?
He got a citation for disorderly conduct. Oh. And they're going to determine if they're going to charge. His name was Charles Thomas Maxwell, 26 years old. But he did run up on the stage, but that's a little scary.
That is scary. You perform, all of a sudden somebody, that's
he could have went up on stage and juked them or anything.
That's true.
Could have stabbed them.
In this day and age.
I was just like, okay, where's that security guard, that cute one to be on there all the time? Where's he at? I was like, where's that brother at? Because he's always on everything. Get back, move the cameras. Like, okay, bro, where were you on the night of the incident? But yeah, he did get a little citation, so they're going to determine if they're going to press charges or not. I'm sure they probably will not, but they continued on with the show the next night. The show must go on.
Yeah, definitely.
I was like, oh my God, that was, I love B. So I was ready to get on through the YouTube and get him. Act like Kelly, defender.
There's no bodyguard.
I know. Did you hear the Serena Williams and her little catsuit thing situation?
Yeah, the whole situation. So she wore a tutu.
She wore a tutu.
And looked gorgeous.
And she looked
cute.
beautiful, a sleeveless tutu. But here's the thing. This girl is magnificent and fabulous. Mm-hmm. And they changed the rules on her. Saying that she couldn't wear that. The judges, I guess they were offended that it fed her body really good, wrapped booty, around that bottom part. Yeah. But at the end of the day, how are the tennis federation, how are you guys going to change the rules on the girl? Like, she's been doing this for a long time.
But she pulled it off because she looked fabulous in her tutu.
But they told her she couldn't wear it. That's the part I'm a little disgusted about. She's given so much of her life to the game.
For them to tell
her that she cannot wear. And then it's not like it was in the rules. Now we have a new rule.
Now they just made a rule.
Now we have a new rule.
Specifically for you.
Exactly. After she did sweat and tears and blood for this French opening, I was just a little disgusted by that. But I love the way she handled it.
Me too.
And she didn't make a big fuss about it. But she know deep down inside what it really is and how they really are. But I like the fact that she came out with the tutu. She said she always wanted to wear one. And it was designed. It was designed by Louis Vuitton.
Oh, it was. Mm-hmm, okay, that's why it was.
So it was really cute though. But I was like, okay, go Serena, because she's making a statement without the fuss.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we can say things without it.
Yeah, without
all the negative.
You have to say a word sometimes.
And she didn't.
Yeah.
She held it in. She probably went ranting and raving with her family and her husband and everything. But she came out there
with grace.
And I love the little socks and shoes she had on. Oh my God.
That was cute too.
I'm not even a tennis shoe girl. But she had the bomb socks on and the bomb tennis shoes. I'm like, oh my God, okay. Made me raise an eyebrow. I'm like, well, give me a pair of those. But no. So I was really proud of her for maintaining herself like a lady and for her not going in and making a big old thing out of it. And she won. So
she won.
That's the best thing. The revenge is get your paper up. That's what Beyonce said. I was like, okay. Okay, the other thing that I was really, really just blown back by.
What's that?
Was Aretha Franklin not having a will.
Did you see her funeral this morning?
Yeah, I saw parts of it.
It's going on right now still.
Yeah, it was going on. It was good. But I'm still a little in disbelief that she did not have a living trust or a will.
Well, like you and Jeff so told me, it happens. I
know,
so
but
I guess.
I'm just saying, you have 4 children. Okay, so if the money it automatically goes to the children, but what will happen at this point?
The state is going to decide who gets what and it's not.
Yes, no, they're going to decide that's going to go to probate. Mm-hmm. If you don't have a will and you don't have a living trust, it will go to probate. And probate, they administer someone to determine how much assets you have and then who deserves those assets.
How they want to.
Yes.
And they take their fees.
Exactly. Their fees are absolutely astronomical, especially with a will of her kind. But if you're saying that she's unmarried, so that's out of the packet. But the whole thing about not having a will or not really having a living trust, which is the best possible thing that any of us could do, is to have a living trust. Mm-hmm. Now, there are going to be people coming. You see all her family at the services? Okay, so one of those people at the services can say, I thought Aretha said I could have her diamond watch.
And they have to contest it?
They will contest it, and then that will also linger on into the time in which they can shut the case out and every money funds dispersed. But anybody that contests anything at this point, probate's going to work that out. And probate can go on for a long time.
They can drag it as long
They can take as much money out of there as they choose to,
Yep.
And that's the sad part about it. Aretha being this major star, it's like, how do you not know? Where's your lawyers? Or, someone told me that maybe she wanted to do that to bring her family to, because she trusts her family, she trusts her boys. But at the end of the day,
you buy that.
I'm sharing what somebody shared to me. I looked at it like you did. I said, are you serious? But that's your opinion, so I'll let the individual have it. But at the end of the day, she needed a living trust, because that is just what it is. Now she's going to have problems from heaven watching everybody fight. They say she's going to heaven. I don't know, but everybody's going to be fighting over her stuff. I mean, unless it's a close-knit family, and that's what I'm hoping for, that they all love and respect her and know what her wishes were, and will follow. And be prepared for the worst. Yeah. Okay. So how are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm just hungry. Being honest. No, but I'm glad today's Friday.
Okay, all right.
Aiden and I have a date. I can't even talk.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, and so I was talking to my sister yesterday on the phone, and I said, yeah, Friday, me and Aiden have, we have a date. And he's like, oh my gosh, Mom, a date? We don't have a date. He has his vision of a date is totally different from, the
real what it is.
So I had to explain it to him. I'm like, what do you think a date is?
What did Aiden say?
Yeah, and I didn't want to know. He was like, no. He just started smiling. He was like, no, that's I can just imagine. So, yeah, but we have a date today.
Oh my God, what are you guys going to do?
Well, we're going to see The Incredibles 2 in 4D.
Okay.
So, it's like a ride experience and all that.
Okay, that's going to be awesome.
Us out. So, yeah, we're going to go.
Oh, mommy and me time. Yeah. I miss that. It's over for me. I was at home yesterday. It was completely silent.
Oh, wow. What is that like? Wow.
It was so quiet. I'm like, oh, my God, it really is empty nest here.
Wow.
But it was cool, though.
My cousin, too.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, her son graduates. My Amber graduates in December. And, her baby just graduated high school, but he's going to the Navy. So
okay, that's awesome.
She was like, yeah, we're just... And I was like, oh, okay, I'll call you back. No, I'm not hating, because I still enjoy going to the games and stuff like that.
Oh, my jeepers. Did you say you were like, really?
Yeah, I was like, really? I don't need to hear right now.
But you only have a handful of more years. And then
just 8. Well, no, not even. It's more than that. I'm thinking, Chase is just 2 more years.
He's 16 already?
He'll be 16 next month. In October. Yeah.
Are you serious,
yes.
Chase? Kim, I promise you, it just seemed like Chase was a baby, like blink of an eye. He was the one that slid through and just did it.
Yeah,
because he's so quiet.
He is quiet.
But he just totally, almost a grown man now.
Yeah, he'll be 16.
Oh, Kim.
Yeah.
And out the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I know you'll enjoy the silence.
But the good thing about having boys is they're always around. I mean, they're always around. Yeah. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, I did. I went over to my oldest son's house yesterday to see the new baby.
Oh, you went?
Yes. Okay. So it was awesome. Hand sanitizer. My son is crazy.
Hand sanitizer. It can burn him, like his eyes or whatever. You got to be careful with that.
He had soap, hand sanitizer, and little cloths to put over you. Cloths to put over your clothes, and sent out an email. Please don't come over if you had any type of intoxication of any kind. Don't come. I was like, this boy is losing his mind.
I did tell Amber. I did mention that to Amber, and she said, "Well, Mom, a baby just died because family came over to visit and they were holding the baby, and I guess somebody had an infection or something. Nobody knew, and the baby died." So Amber was like, "I'm all for that."
Okay, I followed protocol. I was cool. I made a salad. Stayed in there, chopping in the kitchen. He's like, "Mommy, you come over. Can you make enchiladas?" I'm like, "Oh, baby, no." There's nobody at home for me to cook for. So. But then the salad just as much time consuming as the enchiladas.
Because you're cutting up stuff.
Slicing, and dicing. But we wind up having a really good time, and I chilled with him and the baby and his girl. And then as I was leaving, Khadijah was coming.
Oh, okay. That's good.
And then Quay popped in. So we all, just went over to see the baby. Yeah. And it was just awesome.
Is he bigger?
Oh, my God. He's so cute, kid.
He is very cute.
He is so cute. I look just blushing over my own grandchild, you guys.
No, but he really is cute.
He is a cutie pie. And I was just like, oh, my God. But the whole thing about me that I'm really concerned with the reaction to the babies. He's trying to hold his head up. Staring.
Already?
Yes. I'm like, can you stay like a couple weeks old?
You're going to be crawling next
week.
What's
your rush? I know. Karan said, Mom, look, he's standing up on his legs. I'm like, oh, my God. Slow down.
Wait, he's what?
He's only like 3 weeks.
Oh, wow.
He's only like 3 weeks actually today. I believe today is 3 weeks.
Wow.
But he is holding his head up, looking around, staring at you, up and down. I was like, oh, my God, spoiled to death already. I said, come on, well, you're going to have to put up a sign, no visitors for about 5 months, because everybody comes up holding them, just anything and everything. But yeah, so I'm a proud grandmother, and I'm just so happy about, he's a little healthy little guy. He just looks so cute. Also, you know what? I was going through some papers, and did you remember the little show, Sweetie Pie?
Yeah.
Remember Sweetie
Pie? They had a restaurant out here, too, right?
Yeah.
And one in Atlanta.
Yeah. And my girls just love the little, the son, Tim. But he got arrested.
For what, Tim?
Tim was arrested.
For what?
Supposedly for beating up the chef.
Oh, really? Wait, who was the chef? Wait, I'm just tripping off. They loved Tim?
My girls loved him some Tim. Well, one of them, she really did. She was like, oh, Mom.
I like his personality.
I did. I was trying to check. I was like, those hips.
Yeah, I can't.
But she said he was, hey. I was like, okay.
That killed it for me, those hips.
Well, what's her name? Jennifer, off of one of the Housewives?
Yeah, Jennifer Williams.
Yeah,
she was dating him.
Yeah, she was dating him.
But he seems really, really nice. But
no, he's a sweetie pie. But he just totally
he beat up the chef.
Beat up the chef. I was like at the restaurant, and so the chef pressed charges, and he went to jail. But his bail was only like $500. But
probably just slapped him or something.
But Tim, he was in jail before though, so you don't need to.
Oh, really?
Yes, Tim did some time.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, a little gangster in there.
He don't even look like it.
I know, but see, but here's the thing. You don't need to be doing anything that can bring that type of attention to you because you
especially
survived.
When it's in your past.
Yes, you survived it and you came out with a thriving business and women crazy about you. You didn't have to beat the chef up. You should have called security, remove him. That's what I think you should have did. Yeah. Just call security and have this gentleman removed unless he have some type of ties financially with our business. Yeah. But just beat the chef up, Tim. And you're kind of big. Tim's kind of big.
He is kind of big.
So hopefully the chef had some hands too. And the other topic I wanted to move into, which I was really, 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 really shocked about. We're going to go to break. We'll talk about it when we come back.
Alrighty. I'll see you when you get back.
welcome back to the ladies' room.
Welcome back.
I'm Brenda.
It's your girl KB.
Hi. So we definitely have a caller.
Yes, we have a guest
With that totally, we want to talk about the law of attraction for children.
Yes.
So that's something really big and different. So we want to work with that.
Yes, because we do a lot of talking for law of attraction, affirmations, and all that with adults.
Yes.
And, we tend to not think of children doing the same thing.
Exactly.
And it could be powerful. It's powerful for us. It can be powerful for the kids as well.
And I think it empowers them.
Yes.
Once they understand what their power is.
The power that they have within themselves.
Yes, and they can grow, develop it, transform it, and that's where you get that strong individual.
Mm-hmm. So our guest, Michael Dietrich, who wrote a book called Think, 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 The Law of Attraction for Kids, is joining us. Are you there?
Yes, I am. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Great. Is this Kim?
This is Kim.
Hi. Nice to talk with you in person.
Yes. So I did receive your book, and my son truly enjoyed it. I see a lot of value in the book.
Hi, I'm Brenda.
And this is Brenda.
Hi. Hi, Michael.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Okay, absolutely. So I wanted you to give our listening audience a little brief synopsis of the book.
Okay. Well, basically, like Kim mentioned, the title of the book is Think, 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 The Law of Attraction for Kids. And I guess the best way to summarize the book is that it is a tool that children can use reading by themselves, or parents or grandparents can read it to children, that helps them understand the principle, the universal principle that our thoughts have a genuine, solid, tangible impact on our everyday life, on the events and the things that happen in our life, and that we have the power and the right to choose our thoughts, that we are not slaves to our thoughts, that if we have thoughts that we don't want, we actually can switch the thought pattern and introduce the thoughts into our mind that we want to have, which typically will be thoughts that are more positive and more happy. So that basically is what the theme of the book is. And I wrote it in a story fashion, using kind of a Dr. Seuss type of a rhyme style. And it has some fabulous illustrations that Dean Vidgicon, who's a wonderful artist, did for me. He and I were very much in sync when we did the book. And basically it's a story of a small boy who gets overwhelmed by some fear that some bully whose name is Wooly is going to come and beat him up. And so he allows these negative thoughts to kind of pull him down and put him in a state of fear. And so the book kind of describes what it's like to feel that fear. And I think children will relate to that because all kids typically know what it's like to be afraid of somebody or something.
Okay, so
and then, the main character begins to remember that he actually has power to change his thoughts and to think happy things. And so he goes through this mental exercise of his thoughts, imagining that Wooly, instead of being a bully, is doing funny things. And it changes his entire attitude. And then when he finally does meet Wooly in person, they shake hands, they give each other a hug, and become friends. So,
okay, so he's at the power of thought, the power of your mind.
By the power of thought, right. He just completely switched his outcome by changing the thoughts about what the outcome was going to be.
Okay, so, Michael, let's just take a situation in real life. Now, there really is a bully, and there really is a little boy. He can think the positive thoughts that he wants to think.
But that bully's not thinking the same.
So how would someone in real life handle that?
That is going to be the subject of my next book. Because the law of attraction is a universal law that does not apply to every situation, and it's not a magic wand.
Right.
What the law of attraction can actually do, I've experienced this in my life. I actually had some doubts that, anything that I thought could affect anybody else. And when I was living a few years ago in Utah, everybody told me, oh, the Utah drivers are horrible, they're mean. And when I got there, I found that to be true. People would cut me off and not let me merge onto the freeway, and if I happened to pull in front of them, they would zoom around me and cut me off, and they would, I found that my expectations were actually coming true. And I heard Dr. Wayne Dyer, talk about using his thoughts to impact the world around him. And he actually specifically mentioned drivers on the road with him, that instead of sending them these negative thoughts and thoughts of revenge, that he would send them love and send them positive energy. And I thought, well, yeah, right. So I was very skeptical of that. But he mentioned, well, try it as an experiment. And so I said, okay, I'm going to try it as an experiment. So I started it. I started, consciously choosing to send every driver on the road who was anywhere near me love and compassion. And I started thinking, okay, well, maybe that person's having a bad day. If they're rude on the roadway, maybe their best friend just died, or their girlfriend just broke up with them or something. And so I started actually feeling compassion. There was no connection physically between me and these other drivers. And I kid you not, this is as honest as I can possibly be. I actually noticed that people started becoming nicer to me on the roadway. I was actually shocked.
No, I'm in agreement with you. I understand that if your mental is of a negative nature, then it generates that negative energy, and so you can get caught up in that. And it is good to have positive thoughts, and it will help you. It will help you, because I actually experienced that myself this weekend. I had a negative phone call, and after I was off of the telephone, my whole mood had just completely changed. Mm-hmm. But then when I sat down and I said, no, you know what? I'm not going to allow that to take over my good spirit and my good nature, and I'm not going to allow that to interfere with my joy. I talked myself back into a pleasant place, which allowed me to be pleasant to other people. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So that's a really good theory.
Good concept.
Yeah,
and I'm so glad that you made this available to children, because children, a lot of adults get this, but children do need it as well.
Right.
Yes, I'm in agreement with you, Kim, because I think that the children are where we need to start at this point. Yes. As young as this little guy who looks like he might be about 5 or 6, that, if we can input those positive concepts into their mind, then they can grow up with that, they can develop and transform, and that can become a way of life. So I do understand that.
Right, yeah, I think that's a very important concept for children to have. And you did mention that, what if the bully doesn't pick up on those positive vibes? And what if somebody, in spite of their positive experience, end up having, or their positive thoughts, they end up having a negative experience of their physical world?
Right.
Well, there are other laws of the universe besides the law of attraction. So there's the law of free agency, where other people also have the right to choose what they're going to do, regardless of what you do. And, like you were just mentioning, that phone call made you feel negative, and you changed your attitude and the way you were feeling inside. You maybe didn't change that other person, but you chose to not react to it and not let it ruin your day.
Right.
And so that's kind of the next step I want to take. But I think kids learn things just one step at a time. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to overwhelm them in one book. I know that children, the other children's books I looked at that talked about the law of attraction seemed to me, from my perspective, they seemed a little bit overwhelming. Like they were trying to push too much of the idea all out in one big fell swoop. And I guess it's an advantage and a disadvantage. I still have the mindset of a child in many ways. So I realized, wow, I mean, if that feels overwhelming to me, it must really overwhelm a kid. I feel like most children just learn one very simple concept at a time, and they don't learn it philosophically or analytically. They learn it through life experience and through stories. And so I put the entire concept in a story form without actually making it seem like I'm teaching a concept. And I'm hoping that will help children basically adopt into their unconscious and subconscious mind these attitudes without really realizing that they're being preached to or taught anything. They're just enjoying it.
Right.
Children learn by enjoying life. They play, and as they play, they learn, and they absorb, and they mold their personalities during playtime.
Do you have excuse me, I'm sorry, doctor. Do you have a book for the parents? Because sometimes it may be important for the parents to understand this concept in order to teach it to the child.
Right. I do not have a book for adults yet. That's another thing on my agenda, is to perhaps do an addendum, kind of like a workbook for parents.
Right.
What activities and ideas that you can use for the book. I mean, I plan on adopting and adding a few things to this particular book. I also have a friend who does amazing beat bop. And he said that he might be interested in reading the book in beat bop format, doing a beat bop recording of the words of the book that can be put out on a digital format that you could download or put on most people don't use CDs anymore, but that people could download and listen to it. And instead of, the parent or grandparent reading the book, they could play the audio in the background of, kind of a beat bop, like think. That's what I'll do.
No, that's a really great concept. I really love the beat bop. I think that's awesome. But I want to ask you another question in regards to the concept of the book, and as parents, because I'm concerned, the children, we can read this book to them, but I think the parents have to understand what this is, that there is a story here, and the concept is for the children to do something different, and which is change your mindset if it's not in a positive manner. But as a parent, just saying, working every day, you're a single parent, you're trying to make ends meet, doing all this, what can they do to help their child, even if they don't have the book?
Well, I mean, the parents, of course, can only teach and only convey to a child what the parent already has within themselves.
That's my point.
It's very hard to fool a kid. It's very hard to pretend to be something you're not when you're a parent. Sometimes you can, but usually you have to actually be the type of person that you're trying to convey to your child. And so just parents should, I think, we're social creatures, and we need to learn from each other. And I think people can learn from listening to other people who have audios out there or movies or books or anything that they can get that teaches them at an adult level about positive attitude, about thoughts and thinking. And parents need to be willing to learn and realize that they're not too old to learn, and they're not too old to adapt and change their thought process and change their own life, and be willing to experiment, just like I was willing to experiment with Dr. Wayne Dyer's challenge of sending positive energy to the angry drivers on the road. And so parents should say, okay, I'm willing, and maybe I'm depressed, and maybe I'm overwhelmed by my wife and being a single parent or whatever, but I'm willing to give it a try. I'm willing to get out there and listen to some positive things, experiment with it in my life, and see if I can raise my own vibrations and my own mental attitude so that I can convey that to my children. I know the desire to raise our children in a more happy and positive way quite often will motivate us as parents to work harder on ourselves to live that type of a life.
Right. Okay, well, I really appreciate the book, and can you let our parents know where they can purchase the book?
Yeah, they can go to Balboa Press, that's BALBOA Press, PRESS, balboapress.com, and go to the bookstore and just look up the book by its title, Think, 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 The Law of Attraction for Kids, or they can type in my name, Michael Dietrich. The book will also have, it's not quite active yet. By the end of the week, it should be, or the end of next week, the website should be activated, and that is michaeldietrichbooks.com. That's Michael. Michael Dietrich is spelled Detrick. Dietrich. michaeldietrichbooks.com. You can also get it on Amazon. So if you go to Amazon, you can just type in Think, 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 The Law of Attraction for Kids. And you can also type in my name, Michael Dietrich. And it's also available on barnesandnoble.com.
Okay.
And there might be a few hard copies floating around in some of those bookstores, too, in Barnes & Noble.
Okay,
I'm not sure. Individual bookstores, I believe, have. Some individual Barnes & Nobles have ordered some of the books.
Okay, that sounds really good. I mean, I'm absolutely excited to be able to share this with other people. And
especially the children, because, positive thinking produces a positive outcome. I think that's great for children, adults, and,
Well, as you work on your other book, we'll stay connected to you and so that we can also have that one and view it and let the adults see what we can do to help our children think.
Oh, yes. Thank you. I'd love to maintain contact with you all, and I'm grateful for the great work that you all are doing.
Thank you. Thank you for the book, and thank you for joining us today on the Ladies' Room.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I sure appreciate it.
Okay.
It's been
Blessings
a pleasure.
Have a good one.
Have a good one.
All righty. We're going to go into a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Welcome back to the ladies' room. We have a special guest here.
Today we are joined by Peter Allman. He is a film producer, journalist, poet, celebrity news interviewer. And he's going to talk to us today about his documentary.
Well, ladies, it's wonderful being here today. We're going to make huge successes in our lives with the presence of God within ourselves. Very important thing. And today we're going to talk about peace.
Okay.
What's your definition of peace?
Well, peace is having peace within yourself. And by having peace within yourself, you have a relationship with God. But in addition to that, how do we achieve peace? Well, one of the ways we can achieve peace is by having a relationship with God. But also you can work out. You can diffuse your anger through nature walks, through meditation, through God, and, of course, yoga. And our society now cannot afford to have wars. Wars make money for the economy, as Mr. Trump would say. But now, because of 9 countries with nuclear weapons, we cannot have wars. We have to have another path to choose to make money to bring up the economy. So what I say to you is we have a documentary called Winds of Freedom. And you can watch that documentary at www.winds, like the wind blows, WINDS, of freedom.org. And that is man's quest over the last 100 years of how to achieve peace. This was originally a documentary, I should say a concert at Carnegie Hall. Okay. And then years later, Alex Azin, of course, the creator, we went and produced it into a documentary which we're implementing in the educational system because young people need to be educated on how to have peace. And not just young people, but the world needs to be educated on how to have peace in our society.
So what are some of the measures that you cover in your documentary on how to get that peace? I mean, I know you said through yoga, working out, which I agree because I work out now to get that peace. But I mean, as far as like a country as a whole, going to war and things like that.
We've always had conflicts with religions and wars, okay? But this is a time now where people are more informed, more intelligent. And so through the documentary itself, it shows what mankind has done throughout the last over 100 years.
In regards to what?
In regards to
destruction?
Wars. Pardon me?
In regards to destruction?
Destruction. Man has had a lot of destruction within himself and within the world. Religions, differences, which is a big problem. And now we have to have faith and put into action education on how we can respect each one of us regarding of our culture, our religion, to learn to get along and communicate with each other. And that's what President Trump wants. Believe it or not, folks out there, he wants peace.
Excuse me.
This is not the show for that.
Okay, because we're saying that because you said earlier that we were dealing with a path to choose to make money to create peace. So what did you mean by that?
What I meant by that is that during all these years, not just the United States, but all the countries, war produces jobs and it creates money. And it creates economy. But there are other ways to create economy rather than have wars. And the United States is not totally innocent. They're everybody's big brother. And other countries are not innocent. But what we need now is to improve our economy, which we're doing.
How?
How are we improving economy?
Because I did read an article about, let's say, coal, COAL. We're the only country that still want to utilize coal instead of natural energy. And that's money. It creates money, but it also there's a negative effect to that. But Mr. Trump is a straight supporter of utilizing the coal and maintaining the money coming through there, opposed to our humanity and peace on earth and making sure that we're breathing good air. So I don't know.
Well, We have solar energy, which is going to...
But he's not using that. He's not for that. He specifically wants to continue to use coal.
But we're not going to continue to use coal, and there's politics involved in this situation, and I never said that I agree with everything with President Trump. Donald... I don't agree with the coal.
No, okay. They are implementing solar energy.
But what I'm saying is that they are implementing it, but he's going against it.
But he's for coal.
And he is the president of the United States. And you're talking about our humanity, our behavior, and what we breathe in, how we live. It starts with the body. You said
it does.
You said yoga. You said let's walk.
Meditate.
Let's have peaceful thoughts.
You can't meditate with
coal
in the air.
So I'm just these are just little things that I have had an opportunity to read up on. Now, I'm not saying that Trump is the absolutely worst person in the world. I'm not saying that. I think what the message that I get from Trump is simply, we do have to find ways to generate capital. We do have to find ways to put ourselves in a different class financially, so that we can
get those tax breaks
benefits,
and things
because
like
yes,
that.
we need to be able to reap those benefits, but it's not open to just the average person.
It's not open to everybody.
It's not.
I still believe that America is an opportunity place.
Absolutely. That's why everyone's here. That's why Trump is here. Where's his father from? Where's his father from?
His father is not from the United States.
Exactly. Where's his wife from?
She's not either.
She's not either.
Okay, so it is a land of opportunity because she came over here. Now she's married to the president of the United States.
That's correct.
And his father birthed him, and he is now the president of the United States. So I think we do understand the land of opportunity.
What I do want to say, though, is we have to protect our borders. And number one, we have to handle the problems that we have here in Los Angeles and throughout the United States.
Name one of the problems in Los Angeles, and how would you handle it?
Homelessness is a very big problem. And let me tell you what
Can
I would do.
Can you contact Trump? Do you have that access?
We've contacted him, but I haven't got an answer yet.
Oh, okay.
I have a friend of mine that sponsors my television show, Messages with Pete Allman. It's called Sober Recovery, Greg Henley. And he's going to see Mr. Trump. And I asked him, well, I couldn't make arrangements with you. But he says, don't worry, Priscilla Presley's bringing me there. So he's going to talk to Trump about...
So I'm going to give you a message to give to him, to give to Priscilla, to get to Trump. How about that?
Okay.
Let's deal with the homelessness. Let's go there.
But before I do that, I want to say that Greg Henley, my dear friend, has a book out, and he's doing great things to help people that have addictions. There's young people that are on the opioid crisis, and he has a product that's organic that's going to really help them and get off the opioid addictions that young people have.
Yeah,
today.
there's many addictions, but I want to go back to the homeless problem.
Is he the one with the farms that are Florida and?
You're talking about Dr. Richard Schultz. That's another gentleman I know that is a herbalist, and a lot of people have been cured from cancer.
I like that.
So many things.
Yes.
That was Dr. Richard
Schultz.
S.
And they're located, folks, in Marina Del Rey on Glencoe, and people from all over the world order herbs. And I've met people with cancer and fourth stage, and that have been cured themselves by taking the right herbs.
I believe holistic medicine is the best. I do. I wrote his name down. I'm going to visit him. I like that.
It's from God, like they say.
But I want to go back to I asked you the question about what is one of the problems in Los Angeles.
Okay.
And what would be the remedy for that? And you said homeless. So now what would you do about the homelessness here?
Okay, I'm speaking for myself now, not for President Trump. But what I will say to you is that the first thing we would do between city and state is to rehabilitate the homeless. But before we do that, we have to house them. And those people that don't want to be housed would then be situated in a campland away from the city, away from the sidewalks, where we have parks that those individuals would have showers and bathrooms. As it stands now, there's garbage all over the city. We need more garbage crews to clean up the city because a lot of the homeless are mentally ill.
Okay, so do you think
that's another big problem? And we need to open wings in hospital for the mentally ill. When Reagan and Kennedy closed
down the mental hospitals, pushed them to the street.
It was a big problem.
Yeah, it's a big problem. So now let me read.
Today.
Let's go back over what you just said.
Yes.
So you said that for the people that were willing to be rehabilitated,
yes,
that they can get shelter.
Absolutely. There are plenty of buildings that could be retrofitted for those people to be housed. Yeah, right. Now, granted, there's a lot of people that are trying to get places now. There's over 65,000 homeless in Los Angeles. And that's probably more than that, throughout the county.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but I want to go back on your comment, too, because I was a little concerned about the one where you made that the ones that was not willing to be rehabilitated, that they could be put into a camp.
Well, when I say camp, what I'm saying is you have to take people away from the streets because it hurts our tourism, right? And take those particular people and have a place for them where they have showers, where they have bathrooms, and I call them camplands. Well, in other words,
I understand what that is.
An area where they can live and not
sort of like the children that was on the Mexico situation.
No,
they were in a camp.
Yeah, they were in a camp that was not a good situation there. I agree with you there,
But when you say camp and you say isolate, it did put you in the mind frame that if we start that, where does that end?
Well, let's put it this way.
But it's a good concept overall. I understand what you're saying.
We cannot allow, and the ACLU has been suing the city, but the tourist factor, because there's a lot of factors here. Having people on the streets, and I've been down to the main street, I've been downtown, and I saw a dead person there. I saw them dealing with dope there, right in front of the mission. And I don't see the police doing anything about it.
It becomes a way of life.
And
it's very sad.
I really hate that we're running out of time.
Oh, my God.
You have to come back. We do need to wrap this up, but you do need to come back.
You need to come back in the first week of October. Okay. And then I'll have done a little bit more research. And then we
can definitely, because I know that LA is working to home the homeless. And
they improved downtown, certain areas of it. It looks beautiful.
Certain areas, yeah.
On the west side, it looks really nice. They really, even on 6th and Mateo, they used to be completely homeless. Yeah. I went down there. There's cafes, there's lofts, there's all kinds of things. But where did they put them?
We're going to have you back in the month of October.
And celebrityscene.com, you can go to the website, www.celebrity.com is the website. And go to my Facebook page, Pete Allman, and watch our show that we had yesterday, Miraculous Things Happen. The Holy Spirit Hit Me, OCN Network.
Okay, sounds good. And then you guys stay tuned with us with Morris Media Studios.
The Ladies' Room.
The Ladies' Room. And we are going to say goodbye.
Have a good weekend.
Wonderful. Okay, so.
The Consortium of Health and Military Performance, also known as CHAMP, of the Uniformed Services University of Health and Science, known as USUHS, is conducting a study to understand a possible genetic link between sickle cell trait, known as SCT, and exercise-related events, known as EREs, such as exertional rhabdomyolysis, muscle damage, heat stroke, and or collapse. We are inviting African-American men and women with sickle cell trait and their family members to participate. Participating in the study will require you to complete a health history questionnaire, a form authorizing our study physician to gather health information from you and your healthcare provider, as well as a one-time blood donation. In order to qualify for the study, you must meet the following criteria: be African American, be sickle cell trait positive, be able to read, speak, and understand English, be between the ages of 18 and 80, and currently not being treated for any mental or psychological disorders. Participation is completely voluntary, and your decision will not impact your healthcare. The results for this study are for research purposes only and are not intended to directly benefit any individual for confidentiality reasons. However, the results of this study are intended to help better shape policies and associated health risks affecting the SCT community. Participants may be compensated for their time. To join the study, or if you would like additional information regarding the study, please contact the study team by phone, area code 240-479-9514, or email sctstudy-ggg@usuh